Hi, it is I, and yeah, welcome to my channel, in which we are going to discuss the new Netflix series which I just watched all episodes of Dirakuma. And Kaoru, I am a crazy Dirakuma fan, so I got out my Dirakuma shirt, I got out my Hagmas ice cream. Without further ado, I'm not wearing any pants. Welcome to my channel.
Don't call me Anya.
Shige, 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 shige. Like, comment, subscribe.
Dirakuma and Kaoru. I friggin' love Dirakuma. So I do have a lot of Dirakuma related shit. I was pumped when they announced that they're making a series for Netflix. I was trying not to get too pumped though, because there's like regional things about Netflix, so maybe they won't have it in Germany, maybe they won't have it in Europe overall, but they launched like, I think worldwide actually, so it's great, like we all can watch Rakuma and Kaoru. They based it on the stop motion animation, which they had for the Rakuma's birthday some years ago, so they were like short clips, like seconds long, it's like really short clips. I was sitting at the computer, like I was waiting for them to drop. I loved them so much. It's the first time for us to see Dirakuman, and well, we have the car commercials, I guess, but it's like the first time to see him in like in moving about and like, you know, not CG but like fabric, so it's like more real-ish. So we had those, and they were amazing in the series, like in the openings, and sometimes even like some episodes were based on it, like the Hawaii one, where they had 2 clips for the Hawaii hula dance, which were so cute, and they had like callbacks to all of these. So there was like a lot of fan service, which is amazing because I mean they're basically making this for us, right? But you had like all those callbacks, and you had like all those things, you know. I was waiting, for example, for Kori Rakuma to get out his penguin toy, because like he has one penguin which he really loves, and there's like a lot of images with him and the penguin. I mean, he has like a lot of toys. He has like this remote control duck car thing, which was very present in the series. But I was waiting for the penguin to appear, and lo and behold, like it came on, and he took the penguin, and then Kaoru said, "Oh yeah, that's your like your special treasure, right?" So I'm like, yes, yes, it is. I was so happy that they did not include Koguma. They introduced Koguma some years ago. It's a friggin' bear, like an actual bear. He's ugly as fuck, and I cannot stand him. A lot of things I loved, obviously, but there were some things I really disliked. Let me get it out of the way. When they had like the trailers and they showed like all the trailers, it seemed to be like really focused on Kaoru and like her life, which kind of made me cautious not to get my expectations up, because maybe it's about her. I don't care for her at all, and actually she was there, but I feel like Dirakuma, Korirakuma, Kiiroitori were still like the main characters. You know what I mean? She was there because she's like speaking, so she has like a voice. Like I don't even know how old Kaoru is supposed to be, but she's like working, and she's like at an age where she wants to get married, have like a boyfriend and children. This is not a kid's show per se. Actually, Dirakuma itself not a product line that is specifically catered like to children. They just launched a special Dirakuma label that's just for women in like their 20s, 25, like going older, and they have like a lot of tie-ins with like, you know, like housewife magazines and whatnot. So the series 2 felt kind of like it's more for like an older audience. I mean, of course children can watch, it's like there's nothing adult about it. I mean, it's about her and working, but it's actually not about her. It's amazing how much they kind of, you know, like got the characters right from what we know of Dirakuma from like all the merchandise and the storytelling so far. So they introduced Kaoru, and she's actually part of the original Dirakuma like story, but this character was like gender neutral. So Kaoru is like it's like an avatar for all of us. So we can imagine being Kaoru and like owning Dirakuma and the others. Now she's a woman. I mean, I do have one of the DS games, but I don't know about the Wii U games, so I don't know if they had like Kaoru being like an actual person in the games. But as for like printed stuff, it's no gender, yeah? So now she's a girl, whatever. I don't mind that actually. But she was so insufferable. She was like the worst human possible, and I don't get that. I mean, okay, so I said it's not catered to children. It's like people being like, you know, I don't know, mid-20s, I don't know. And so I felt like I was scared that it's going to be all about her. It wasn't all about her. She was like all over the place, but you really felt like the presence of the others too. She's the worst human possible. She's so disgusting as a human. I do not like her at all. And she didn't have character arc. There was nothing changing about her. You know, they had like this thing going through the whole series, which is like getting older and seeing like change around you and like people change, and what do you want from your own future? What do you want to accomplish? What's your place in this world? What do you want to do? And like really on the nose with those topics. Did all of this, but she was like really weird about it. And you know, let me just go through the episodes real quick. So episode 1 is, well, where they shows that Kaoru is kind of like a loser character, I guess. I mean, all her friends accomplished something, and she's still like living, I don't know, her worst life, working a job. I don't even know what she does. Maybe she doesn't like the jobs that much. She never complained about the job. So there's that, like she never complained about the job actually. I mean, they're cutting down her pay, so she's getting less wage, but we never see her struggle really, only in later episodes, which we'll get to. All her friends kind of moved on and left her behind. Well, actually that's it. Let me just, you know, jump a bit to the future, because we have episode 12 in which we get the backstory of how they met, which is really weird to me because this should have been like the first episode, or at least the second episode, because we waited so long for this, and I kind of never questioned how she got around having like that. But you know, the thing about Hirakuma is like, we don't know what type of entity he is actually. So at one point, the suit he wears, having the zipper, at one point they kind of introduced us to the notion that he's wearing the fursuit actually. So nobody knows what's underneath the suit, right? He kind of just shows up at her place one point. He was brought there by Kihiro Itoi, which was like her pet bird, jumping out of his cage, and I don't know how he got around meeting Hirakuma, but apparently they were friends before, and then he just let him in. And then at a later day, Kodi Hirakuma just shows up, and then you have the whole gang at your house. So we have all three, but Kodi Hirakuma doesn't have a zipper on his back, he only has like the small button. Is he wearing a suit? We don't know. Like there's no way for him to get out of that, so we don't know. We don't know. Kihiro Itoi seems to be like an actual bird, like a bird, which is kind of weird. So they just kind of show up. We don't know, are they like real bears? Are they... We don't know. But they just live there. And she's kind of cool with it, I guess. She doesn't ever question them, really. That's it. They just show up. Okay, so did we need this episode after all? I mean, it was like super cute to see Kihiro Itoi because he's like the boss. I love him, yeah? I mean, if you don't give them like an actual backstory and just say they just turned up, like... just don't. What's the point? Episode 2 introduces a neighboring kid, and he's really alone because like his mom and his dad don't care for him much, and he's really jealous of Kaoru and the bears because they have so much fun. He kind of like kidnaps Hirakuma, and Kaoru is like freaking out, and then they go to the kid's place and everything is fine after that. And then they all become friends. So okay, I'm still thinking, yes, okay, this is going to be like a cute, like, I don't know, cute series, nothing really happens, I don't mind it. I'm like, why do we need more humans? So why do we need this child? I don't know, he's there, deal with it. Episode 3 was kind of weirding me out, really weirding me out, because they had mushrooms in her house and also on Hirakuma, and I found this to be like really, really disgusting. Like, I really was disgusted by this. Also, they kind of get into that her younger colleagues kind of don't care for Kaoru that much, and I think she's like a bore. She's owning 2 bears and a bird, and nobody questions that, so I think she seems to be like quite an exciting person, if you ask me. To me, this episode was about the mushrooms. I thought it was like disgusting, and I was questioning, like, is this happening in Japanese houses? Ugh. Well, episode 4 deals with Kaoru not being able to choose. Oh my gosh, so many choices. I mean, fuck her, right? This is so... I don't mind that they're dealing like with those topics, but if you want to do that and you kind of want to have like an adult approach, why do you have to be so obvious with everything? I mean, I loved Kodi Hirakuma at the fair, I love Kihiro Itoi at the fair, I love Kuma, everything was so cute. They came to the conclusion kind of that you don't have to choose, you can have it both ways, well, sometimes. When she has like those dreams about like 2 guys at the beach, my first thought exactly was, why would you choose? I mean, just take everything, I mean, why not? You don't have to choose. Take both. Everything was really super cute, and that's what I'm taking from this. I'm taking from this that yukatas, like those samurai type of Japanese traditional clothing, looked so cute on the characters, and this was like kind of like the first time that we saw Kaoru being like a bitch when she was asking which color ribbon and flower she should use. Hirakuma said, "I'll take." Oh well, he doesn't speak, right? But he was like, "I'll take the yellow one," and I thought she was going for the yellow one because, bitch, guess what? Yellow is like the color theme of Hirakuma, so I thought it was like a callback to you know, oh yes, yellow is our color. But then she's like, bitch, if you want the yellow, I will take the red. She looked awful. I'm just saying it here. She looked awful, you know, as a person and with a red flower in her hair. That's that. So we have episode 5, which again kind of was like weird. So they have a power failure. They're sitting at the table, Kaoru, the bears, the bird, and this child. I'm sure he has a name. Oh, Tokyo. How could I ever forget good old Tokyo with it like blue eyes? Why? They're sitting at the table, like getting out the candle, telling like ghost stories, right? Tokyo. Count through the people, and then they get like to your 6. Like it's a ghost. They just had like an actual ghost sitting there, and then the story became about her having a boyfriend and dying young and yada 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 yada. And the character was great, and I was kind of rooting for her like staying on the show, kind of. That's like a one-time thing. But you have ghosts now? Why do we have ghosts now? I don't get it. I mean, why do we have ghosts? I don't get why we have ghosts. It's like, you know, all of this seems to be rooted in like reality actually, but then you have ghosts. Getting back to Kaoru being like the worst human possible, she offers this ghost girl to kick Hirakuma to get, you know, like all this anger out of her system. I was like, what? This is not your body. You cannot decide for him that you will allow her to beat him up, and then she's holding him against his will. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is so wrong. Later on, like, all the others join in, and I'm still thinking, this is wrong. This is not your place to hold him against his will and basically let him get beat up. This is really weird to me. This is coming from a really weird place. I'm not feeling this. I mean, the ghost girl did not do this because why would she? And then they all hugged and everything was great again, and so this was that. One more feather in Kaoru's head, being a bitch. Episode 6, where we finally come to a point where we can all collectively agree on Kaoru being a dirty friggin' She's going to a fortune teller, and this lady tells her she has like 3 evils following her around and she has to get rid of those, yeah? So naturally, she's like, oh, guess what? You can all leave my house now. So they go, and she tells them, oh, just stay with Tokyo. But he says he can't have them because his mom has like an allergy, whatever. Super weird direction for this episode to go. So they're homeless, and then we see them on the streets. I mean, this is like sort of kind of like the countryside, I guess, but they're on the streets and they have like their little backpacks and, you know, try to fish for food, which is so sad. Really. And you have Kaoru being like okay with everything, just how she's so selfish. And you know, as I said, it's not like she for herself decides that this was the wrong decision and, you know, love conquers all and she will just, you know, bear with her bad luck and keep her bear family with her. No, her slutty colleague told her that the lady she was going to was a fraud, and that's when she decides she wants to have her bears back. So she goes to Tokyo and she tells him, thank you for caring for my bears, I will take them back now. And he's like, I don't have them. So she's like, oh my gosh, what should I ever do? I mean, maybe get help because obviously you're like a sociopath. But she finds them with another homeless person who kind of is really chill about everything. She brings them dango and is like, I brought dango. Forgive me, please. And they're actually not, like at first, which is the right thing to do. But I mean, in the end, of course, they're moving back in. But at this point, I was really angry with her. I was so angry with her, I could not stand her. She's such an evil person. You cannot even relate to her anymore. At first, you kind of relate to her. You know, like you're at that age, you're getting into workforce, and you're like, did I do the right thing? Do I want something different? Where do we go from here? And then it gets to the point where she's like, yes, please beat my bear up. Go out, live on the streets, yada yada yada. Things are just adding up, and she's like, really, she's like the worst character they could have used as a human to have those bears around. I don't know how they would have done it differently because I'm not a writer, guess what? But this was really weird to me. Really, really weird to me. last time I ate this, I had to puke. So fingers crossed. They also just dropped Sabrina season 2. Nope, nothing. It's just there. This was such a high-profile. I mean, I was waiting for this, and you just drop it like this. I'm like, if I wasn't looking for Dirakuma, I wouldn't have known because I never go on Netflix. They have shit. Episode 7. Kaoru is obsessed with a delivery boy. And instead of talking to him, she keeps ordering expensive things online. The first thing I thought was that's exactly what she's going to do. But I thought, why would she order expensive? She could order like something cheaper and still have him come, and then she can just return the things, right? There's no need for her to keep everything, because what it turns into is she's not speaking to him, like they're not talking. She just wants to see him, which is really creepy. It's super creepy. I don't know if they thought it was endearing or something. There's also like no real solution to that problem. She just keeps ordering stuff until she's broke, which leads to her not being able to properly feed the bears. Okay, and then Kodirakuma and Kiiroitori get like jobs, and they're kind of also bringing in money. Then she says, "Oh no, I don't want you to work. This is like my issues and whatnot." But girl, they went out to get jobs so they can buy snacks and good food, and you tell them you cannot take the money, so they have to keep starving just because you're too proud? Proud of what exactly? You achieved nothing in your life except for throwing them out, having them starve themselves so you can pay off your bills and your debt to the credit card company. I'm not feeling this girl at all. Oh, you know what? I kind of jumped into episode 8 already. So 7 and 8 I kind of connected where they're getting jobs and whatnot. Dirakuma tries to work and he fits in nowhere, which is kind of sad, but also kind of cute. The theme is do the job you can do. I don't go out of your way. I don't know. It's a cute message, not for Kaoru, because she can go and die in a fire with Koguma. You know what? I think they would be a great match. They can have their own spin-off, Koguma and Kaoru. A show about them living in the woods and, I don't know, eating bugs, bork. Episode 9 was so cute. It's just snowing, and then they're building snowmans and doing all kind of like shenanigans, and I don't think there's like a lot happening. I don't recall a lot except for them being like really cute. Dirakuma wearing beanie hat. It's so cute to see him walk through the snow like carrying a shopping bag. So we got this, which was like, really lifting the spirits after all that Kaoru bullshit we had to get through. Then we have episode 10, which further cements Kaoru as, the Antichrist, probably. Her friend wins money in the lottery and goes to Hawaii, and she's jealous because she's going to Hawaii with her boyfriend, so she kind of nags about it to the Kumas. So the next day when she gets home from work, they prepared like a hula dance for her, and they painted like a backdrop so it looks like they're in Hawaii. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, thank you guys, I know you want to lift my spirits. She's like, that's not the real thing. I want to go to Hawaii, and I don't want to go with you guys. I want to go with my future boyfriend. Okay, you know what? Why don't you leave then? What's this woman about? She then is like, you put all this effort into it, so I might as well film you and put this on YouTube. So she does. They go viral, fingers crossed for me too. And then they like being hunted by paparazzi and people recognize them, which is really weird because this is never brought up again. They kind of become like stars, and then Tokyo becomes their manager. So all of this is really cute and amazing. And then they get invited to Hawaii to perform live in Hawaii. And Kaoru's like, oh my gosh, can I go with you guys? And they're like, no, you can go with your future husband, which was amazing. I love that Kaoru is being the worst, but the Kumas kind of recognize that, and it's not like they don't encourage her. They're not like, oh, it's great, we all make mistakes. It's not like that. She's being a bitch, and they're like, we recognize you as a bitch. So they go to Hawaii without her. I was celebrating this so much. This was like the best. This was the best. She being left behind, all alone. Then we have episode 11, which was also super cute, yet we still had Kaoru being a bitch to Kodirakuma for no particular reason. He wakes up at night because he couldn't sleep, and then, so the Kumas actually don't have gender. I kind of call most things male. Might be the gay in me, I'm not sure. But Dirakuma themselves, they're like gender neutral. There's wedding dolls. Either one of them can be the bride or the groom. So they don't, adhere to that. Kodirakuma is sometimes a bit more feminine, but then again we have Dirakuma wearing like kimonos, like flowers in his pair, I guess. So I will call them him, and they don't actually have gender, so forgive me for that. I blame it on the guy. He cannot sleep, and then he's looking out the window, and he sees like an UFO. The next day, he wants to grab the attention of those aliens, so he gets like a barber thing, like, you know, this blue, red, like striped thing in front of a barber shop, and he like builds a tent with sticks and with like dried squid next to it because Kaoru told him aliens like dried squid. And she comes in and is like scolding him for putting all of this up and taking up so much space. He's like, this thing goes out tomorrow. Why do you have to be like that? Korirakuma is kind of coded as a child, so why don't you let him play? Lo and behold, there are aliens and they invite him, and then they kind of play around a bit, and then they exchange button call. He has like the button, and the alien gives him like a clear, like kind of planet-shaped, sparkly button. And Sun X, please, please, please produce this version. I want a plain, basic Korirakuma with the alien button. I will pay all the money. I will do it. So anyways, there's the aliens, and I was excited because the Outer Space series from Dirakuma was one of my favorite themes they ever had. And they had like all those like Dirakuma aliens, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope they have the actual aliens because they were so cute, right? No, I don't know why, because they had so many callbacks to other things in Dirakuma's history that I thought they would go there, but then they just have like a regular alien, and this felt like a big miss to me. The next morning, Kaoru goes to Korirakuma. I was like, oh, so did you meet aliens? Yes, I did. And she's like, wow, being a kid must be so great. All this imagination. When you grow older, you will leave that behind. I mean, we all know this actually happened. Why don't you just shut your mouth, Kaoru? Maybe that's why you don't have a husband, bitch. So episode 12, we already talked about. It's the episode where they all meet for the first time, which leaves the last episode, actually, where they have to move out of the building, and we kind of get like a recap of what happened, and everybody being sad that they have to leave Tokyo behind. And it was like kind of really moving because the Kumas are so emotional, and when they cry or when they're shocked or when they're laughing, you really have to feel with them because they're like just so, you just really gravitate towards everything they do. And so they were sad, and I was also sad, and I don't know, that was the whole show. Going through the motions with Dirakumas and hating on Kaoru. Kind of hope they're doing like another thing. I don't want them to go for like season 2. I'd rather have like an AU kind of deal. They moved to a different apartment, so maybe they will do a second season in the new apartment. But I don't want to see Kaoru again, you know? So let's see what happens. The animation was amazing. Everything about the production was amazing. Like, no fault on that. I even kind of got used to the voices they gave Dirakuma and Kiroi Tori. I'm not mad about this. I'm kind of hoping for merchandise, especially the Dirakuma. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you don't mind, to please share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye!